Social Zoom Factor, episode 183.
Driving results in business these days takes something special. It's a combination of the right info and the right energy. Pam Moore has both and is here to help you avoid the pitfalls and guide your business and life by leveraging and integrating social media, powerful branding, and digital marketing. Welcome to Social Zoom Factor. Now it's time to live life zoomed.
Does your current website or blog got you down? Do you need a better hosting platform to help your business zoom turbo versus speeds that are slow and holding you back? No need to look any further than our partner HostGator. Have an existing site? No worries. They can seamlessly transfer your existing site for free and have you zooming turbo in no time for as little as $4 a month. Check them out at HostGator.com and save 30% on new hosting packages using the coupon code ZOOM, or simply go to socialzoomfactor.com/HostGator. The Marketing Nuts Agency helps companies transform their social and digital business from the inside out. Visit their website at www.themarketingnutswithaz.com for a client list, case studies, and some amazing free resources to get you started down the path of success. Hey there, Zoomers, and welcome to Social Zoom Factor. This is your host, Pam Moore. All right, today is going to be a very helpful podcast for any person or brand who is a content creator, which hopefully is all of you. And I am going to share with you 10 tips so that you can keep your content rocking through the holidays, because we know we have many holidays upcoming over the next couple months. We have Thanksgiving and Hanukkah and Christmas, and I don't know what you're celebrating. New Year's Eve, hopefully most of us are celebrating, but I know no matter what your religious beliefs are, there are probably some holidays you're celebrating over the next 2 months. So then the question comes, all right, I have to be online every day and my blog needs to keep rocking. So what am I going to do? How am I going to keep it going? So let's go ahead and let's dive in. And my goal is to be able to give you some tips, some strategies, and some ideas so that you can leverage content you already have, still be providing some new content, and keep that pulse with your audience, with your loyal readers, because consistency is so important when it comes to building your brand and building relationships, particularly with people online. Because if you're only updating your blog once a month, people aren't going to keep coming back because they don't know when you're updating it. It's like they go back, there's nothing new. They go back again, there's nothing new. Pretty soon, they're just not going to go back. So you don't need to disappear over the holidays. There's a lot of things we can do to keep that going. So we want to do smart work. We want to work smarter, not just harder. It's not just about hustling. It's about the smart hustle, which I talk a lot about. And we need to make sure we are continuing to inspire our audiences to connect with us with the goal of helping them achieve their goals and objectives. And then we achieve our goals and objectives. And this is part of a series we've been doing around the inspiration age. We just are coming out of that series. And then now we're digging into a series around the Get Fit digital social business. So making sure our business is staying fit and we are ready for the journey. And part of the journey is the holidays, right? So let's have some fun with this. So tip number 1 is that you need to plan your work and work your plan. So you need to know what content are you sharing and who are you sharing that content with. So you need to have a content calendar. Episode 77, we talked about that. And you can also download our brand new 2016 content calendar template. Just go to socialzoomfactor.com/calendar and it is updated for the whole year of 2016. So you have no excuse to get yourself and your content organized, okay? I have it broke down. We have November and December in there, and then it starts in January 2016. And there is a sheet with in an Excel spreadsheet for every month of the year. And then it's broke down by week and by day, and it has themes and audiences. And even if you're brand new to content marketing, it is going to help you plan your work and work your plan. And it is one of our most popular resources that we provide for free. It's the same calendar that we use with our clients, with my agency, The Marketing Nut. So check it out. And then episode 77 has a tutorial that walks you through exactly how to use it. All right. And you need to make sure that you are, tip number 2 is communicating with your audience, telling them what you are going to do and informing them that you are going to take a break. Okay, so you need to let them know what you're doing, when you're taking a break, what your content is going to be looking like. So maybe do a blog post and kind of do a little bit of market tipping and tell them what's going to be happening over the holidays. Where are you going? What are you doing? Are you going on vacation? What type of tips are you going to be providing? It's a great time to make sure that you know your audience, right? Which is tip number 3. You need to know who your audience is. You need to know what are they doing over the holidays? Why are they going to be coming to your blog, your website, your social platforms? Are they looking to be inspired? Are they looking to get educated? Are there new laws and regulations in your industry coming into play in 2016? What do they need to know to be prepared for the new year, to be inspired to make it through the rest of the year? So think at an emotional level how you can inspire and connect with your audience and make sure that you are providing content that's going to help you communicate and build that relationship with them. Tip number 4 is, you'll love this one. Okay. Less is more. So instead of focusing on massive amounts of content to make sure your voice is heard through the holidays, I encourage you to do the opposite. Focus on higher quality content versus quantity. People have less time. So if you normally are doing, 20 blog posts in a month, maybe you take that down to 15, or you even take that down to 10, but you have a few really, really strong marquee pieces of content, right? And that's the reason why we do our content calendar and some other resources you're going to see rolled out from us over the next couple months. We will even be doing less content, but it's going to be really, really solid content. We know our audience. We know what they're looking for. I know my audience is looking to plan things. They want to be inspired, and the list goes on. And I make sure that I'm providing them what they need. Bottom line, people have less time for the holidays. So just as you're sitting here thinking, oh my gosh, how am I going to get all of this content done, all of my social media done, all my digital marketing done, be ready for the holidays, take my kids to all their concerts and shows and have a life, and then actually be able to still rock my business as we go into the new year? Just as you have less time, everybody else has less time too. So you don't need to be pushing out mounds and mounds and mounds and mounds of content and tweets, right? Slow everything down. Less is more. Tip number 5 is to leverage and rework content you already have. Ding, ding, ding. All right. This is going to save you a lot of time. So do an inventory of the content you currently have, and you can download an inventory worksheet that we have. Go to socialzoomfactor.com/content inventory, and you can download a worksheet that will help you take inventory of every content asset that you have. And this will help you as you go into the new year as well. But leveraging what you have is going to help you create some amazing content. And I encourage you to go look at your website analytics, whether you're using Google Analytics, or if you're in a larger company, you may be using like an Omniture, a Web Trends type of application. But look at what's happening in your blog, on your website. How are people responding to your content? What is being shared, right? There's so many social apps out there that you can be looking and know exactly what content is being shared within a few minutes from your blog and from your website. And I have a podcast coming up next week that's going to talk you through exactly those things. Okay. But dig into the Google Analytics. I did a podcast a while back on Google Analytics. I will make sure I link to it from the show notes page. Go to social socialzoomfactor.com/183, or you can do a search in iTunes or wherever for the Google Analytics podcast. But I walk through 10, I think it was specific metrics you need to make sure that you're paying attention to. And if you know what is your top content on your blog, for example, then you know that's some of the old content you want to leverage, and go back 5 years, right? If you have 5 years of content, take a look and see what was the hot content you had during November and December the last 5 years. Then that's going to give you an idea of what people are looking for, what your audience has been looking for. You can take a look. You can use apps like BuzzSumo, and you can look at what's being shared from your competitors, and the list goes on and on. And if you don't want to do these things yourself, contact us. We can absolutely help you do these things really, really quickly. Go to themarketingnuts.com and we'll be able to help you with that. All right. Tip number 6 is going to come right up, but we need to hear a few words from our sponsors, and then I'll finish off the last 5 tips because I know you need to save time. So give them a listen and I'll be right back. Would you like to get your business zooming turbo online, but don't know where to start? Is website development not your thing? Check out HostGator.com for all of your hosting needs. They have easy one-click WordPress installs or drag and drop website builders. If you need even more help, their website design, setup, SEO, and even managed services can have you zooming in no time. We have been hosting our own and client sites at HostGator for years, and I can personally validate that their service by far beats out their competition. With one little tweet, email, or chat conversation, they are there and ready to help you Zoom or resolve any issues that may come up 24/7, 365 days of the year. HostGator has the capacity to grow with you and scale when and how you need them to without headache or costing you a fortune. Check out HostGator.com today and save 30% on new hosting packages with coupon code ZOOM, or simply go to socialzoomfactor.com/HostGator. Again, that's socialzoomfactor.com/HostGator. Do you ever feel stuck in a rut, like your online business and social business isn't all that it could be? The Marketing Nuts Agency helps small businesses clear up to the Fortune 50 brands, provide clarity and vision for current and future programs. The Marketing Nuts believe in ROI-driven decision-making while still inspiring audiences with relevant content. From social business strategy and consultation, influencer marketing, to corporate training and workshops, and fully outsourced digital and social programs. The Marketing Nuts helps you prioritize your investment, impact business goals, and inspire your audience to invest in a relationship with you. To start the conversation, visit www.themarketingnuts.com. All right, I'm back. Okay, now we're going to shift gears a little bit. So for these last 5 tips, we're actually going to talk about different types of specific content that you can use, okay? So tip number 6 is taking old content to a new medium. So in tip number 5, we talked about how you need to leverage and rework old content. But then you're saying, okay, how am I going to do that? One easy way is that you take, I'll give you a couple examples. You have a great blog post that you did. Okay. Maybe it was 2 years ago, 3 years ago. And now you're going to take that to video, or you're going to take it to a podcast. If you are a periscoper, you're going to periscope about that content. Or maybe you're going to hop on Blab and have a conversation with a couple other people. Maybe it's going to be a Google Hangout, or maybe you create a SlideShare. You create a presentation deck and you post it on SlideShare, or you do all of the above, right? And I've shared some case studies with you in the past where I've taken one piece of content. I used the example when I presented back in 2011. I presented 34 social media truths in a nutshell at Rochester Institute of Technology. I was a keynote speaker there. And over the course of many years since then, I have done blog posts, SlideShare presentations, videos, podcasts, and the list goes on each of those 34 social media truths. And last time I looked on SlideShare, I think the presentation deck had close to 1 million views on it, right? I mean, the ROI on that one piece of content was amazing. So make sure you are taking old content and repurposing it in a way that makes it fresh, because even if it's the same content, it becomes fresh when you are presenting it in different ways. Okay. Tip number 7 is you could create a greatest hits piece. So maybe you have been blogging for a while, or you blogged this whole year, or you're periscoping. What were your top 10 episodes of your podcast? You know, you're going to see one of those podcasts come out from me this year during the holidays. What were your top 10 blog posts, or your top 10 Google Hangouts? Or if you do a lot of speaking, what were your top 5 presentations or workshops that you provided? Maybe you can do a webinar and share those. So get creative with that and share with other people what you are learning, and they will see so much value in that. They are going to see that you are helping teach them, you're empowering them, you're giving them data and knowledge that they're not going to get elsewhere, because you're giving them a unique perspective, a unique experience that you had, which is going to deliver them a unique experience that they're going to take away and learn from and grow from. Tip number 8 is to create a predictions post. And regardless what industry you're working in, chances are really high that it's moving pretty fast, right? And I always say the only guarantee we have is change. So what change can you predict for the coming year? And these types of posts and content get really popular as we start to get into November. So the key here is you want to get them out soon. If you're listening to this podcast and it's towards the end of the year, you just need to make sure that yours is unique and that maybe you're adding a new perspective to it. And there's a gentleman I know very well. I've participated in his predictions posts. He writes for Forbes. His name is Steve Alinsky. He's a good buddy of mine. And I love his take on the predictions posts. And every year he asks me to participate for Forbes. And basically he asks us what one prediction is, but we have to relay that in the form of a movie or a quote. And it's always something different related to media. So how would I do a prediction on whatever he's asking about, but relate that to a movie or a quote from a movie? So to me, that's a very unique way to present predictions. So when you're doing something that everybody else is doing, like predictions, just find a unique way to present that same content and information. Tip number 9 is to focus on one killer piece of content or tool and then maximize that. Split that into a multi-post or podcast. Okay. So we talked about taking old content and reworking that to a new medium. Okay. And I gave you the example of the presentation that I did. All right. So now I'm saying create one piece of content and create that content with a goal that you're going to split that into multiple pieces. So maybe it's a longer executive type of white paper. And maybe it's, we're working with some clients right now. I have a couple of them where, we have a 30+ page white papers we're helping them put together. It's long, I know. And you know how it is in corporate America. Everybody wants to throw in everything, including the kitchen sink, right? But you have a killer piece of content. Let's take this 30-page white paper. Then you can take that and split it into multiple sections. So you can have, from one 30-page white paper, you could have, 30 plus blog posts. You could have several Twitter chats. You could have some Google Hangouts. You could have some co-created content with maybe some influencers from your industry or niche. We could do some infographics. So focus on some killer pieces of content, really, really good pieces of content, and then split that into multi-content assets. Okay. And that's going to help you maximize that investment, because think about it. If we have one amazing piece of content and we're able to get from 10 to my example, like I told you, that 34 different social media truths, that was planned ahead of time, right? So if I can create that once and use it many, that's the holy content jackpot, my friends. That means you're putting work up front. Yes, it's a killer piece of content, so it's going to take you time, but the ROI on that is a payback for years. The ROI that I have had on that one presentation I did at Rochester Institute of Technology, and that I turned that into 34 different blog posts and podcasts and videos, and the list goes on. That ROI is out the roof. Okay. So you want to think quality, not just quantity. Tip number 10 is to make sure that you are leveraging visual marketing, and our brains process visuals 60,000 times faster than we do text. So make sure when you're thinking about content for the holidays, if you have ever been on Facebook, you know it's visual. Twitter is becoming more visual. There are tools that you can utilize now that you can post an image to Instagram, and you can use IFTTT, for example, that will take that post and post it automatically for you to Twitter and turn it into a Twitter image. It doesn't just show up as an Instagram image on Twitter. It shows up as an actual Twitter image. And I encourage you to check out the podcast that I just recently did on automation and Twitter and how to maximize your time. I've done a couple different podcasts on that, so make sure you check that out. And then I also, back in episode 73, I talked about my top 5 visual marketing tools. So make sure that you are inspiring and connecting and educating and delighting and entertaining your audience utilizing visuals, utilizing multimedia, video, and different ways that you can connect with them other than just text, because the noise is going to be loud over the holidays. There are many brands that are selling products, and they're going to be, purchasing ads and media on every single platform. So you're going to have to rise above the noise. You're going to have to get creative. You're going to have to be human and communicate in a personal way. All right. Take visuals and share visuals of your team. Right now, we're building out a new office, and I'm sharing images along the way. I have people begging me to do periscopes and walk them through our office. So I'll be doing that very soon. That'll be a content asset I'll be able to use and utilize over the coming months, right? And sharing what's happening in our agency, and that we're growing. Our team's going to double and triple in the next few months. So you can tell your story through visuals, through audio, through video. That's where we really get into brand storytelling. So, and you can embrace and engage other people to be part of that story with you. Okay. So I will make sure I include links to some of the brand storytelling tips we've been providing over the last few weeks and months. And I hope that this podcast today has just inspired you to think about the way that you look at the holidays and the way you look at creating content over the holidays with a different perspective, because you need to have a fresh eye on your own content. Oftentimes, you can't always be looking at it with the same mindset. And because when you do that, then you kind of just get almost depressed. You're like, I have to write another piece of blog content, or I need to do a podcast, or I need to do a video. When you start to get like that with your content, that is a recipe for disaster, my friends. So put on your fresh creative hat and enter the holidays with a positive mindset. I hope that this podcast today is going to help you, inspire you, empower you, and help you rock your blog, your website, and your social digital platforms over the holidays. Best of luck and success to you. And make sure to reach out to me if you have any questions. You can check out my personal blog at pammarketingnut.com and all of the episodes that we have on iTunes, Stitcher Radio, and SoundCloud. That's a wrap.
If you're ready to zoom your business and zoom your life, then don't let the end of this episode be the end of your journey. Visit socialzoomfactor.com/zoom for incredible free resources and guides. And be sure to join the Social Zoom Factor mailing list so you never miss an episode. We'll see you next time on Social Zoom Factor.